They said, we got to make sure we don't get another Dr. King.
Right.
They said, how did Dr. King manage to pull this off without us financing it?
Right.
They said independent black businesses financed the civil rights movement. White man said, yeah. They said, yes. So guess what we're going to do? We're going to go into the ghetto and we're going to crush the independent black businesses. How you going to do that? Two things. Number one, we're going to go into their high schools. We're going to go into Chattanooga. We're going to go to Memphis. We're going to go to Nashville. We're going to go to Knoxville. Right. And guess what we're going to do? We're going to go into every black high school and take out all the building trades. We're going to make sure they cannot be taught how to use their hands to feed their family ever again. They took out auto shop. They took out the electric program. They took out plumbing. They took out welding. They took out HVAC. This is what they did. This is what they did. Yeah. This is the beginning of the war between the black woman and the black man. Yeah. They made the black man economically irrelevant to the black woman's life. They said, this is how we going to kill black power. We're going to set the family against each other. If we can set the black woman against the black man, he won't have time to fight us because he got to fight his own woman.
That's fact.
So they went into the high schools and took out all the building trades. Think about it. Before 1980. The black community was never about going to college to take care of our family because we wasn't allowed in the colleges.
Right.
So they would change this. So while they taking away our economics by making sure our boys ain't learning the skills that pay the bills, making sure our boys no longer learn the skills that pay the bills. They started this college education propaganda. Go to college. America is integrated now. You can go to Harvard and Stanford and Yale, and we sent our kids $100,000 loans. Go. Failing to realize that even though they got that degree, who gonna give them a job?
Right.
It was a trap.
Right.
It was a trap.
Right.
So then in 1970, they economically decimated us, and then they took all the factories out the black community. You go to most northern and midwestern cities, Detroit, Chicago, Philadelphia, Baltimore, you see old factories.
Yeah.
That's where we used to work.
Yeah.
Good jobs, made more then than we make now with college degrees. They got rid of all of them.
Yeah.
That was the 1970s, but they wasn't done. 1980s, CIA drop off the crack cocaine. Boom.
Yeah.
So now the black man can no longer earn with his hands. He got to make a decision with this crack. This is a booming business. You can smoke it to deal with the pain of not being able to provide for your family,
right?
Or you can try to sell it and provide for your family.
Right.
Either way,
you're tearing us up.
And you're going to jail, which takes us to 1990. Bill Clinton crime bill, 1994. Boom! Look at this. Yeah. Every decade since they killed King, they didn't hit us. Ooh. So the 70s, economic castration. 80s, the crack. 1990, Bill Clinton crime bill under a Democratic president that black people consider to be one of their best.
Yeah. Our boy.
You got Bill Clinton locked up more black men than any Republican president since Reconstruction.
Right.
Mandatory 3 strikes and you out. Mandatory federal minimum wages for nonviolent drug-related offenses. Kicked millions of black women off welfare in the welfare to work program. And then he did something else under the table we wasn't even watching. He criminalized child support. That was Clinton. Clinton did that. That happened under Bill Clinton. Before Bill Clinton, you didn't go to jail if you didn't have a job to pay your child support.
Right.
He snuck that in. And the reason he was able to snuck it in is because I don't think they put the language directly in the crime bill. Right. So the black community didn't fight it because they didn't know that was part of the whole mix.
Right.
He criminalized child support. So any black man with a child technically is on parole any damn way.
Now that's deep.
10 more years, we come to the year 2000, election of George W. Bush for president. He comes in with the FBI faith-based initiative, where he finds a loophole in federal law that allows him to fund black church. If you want to know why you ain't seen the black church involved in any major struggle affecting black folks, have you noticed that you don't see the black church dealing with police genocide?
At all.
You don't see the black church dealing with miseducation. You don't see the black church dealing with unemployment. You don't see the black church dealing with mass incarceration. Can you name one thing that the black church is at the forefront of changing for black folks? You can't. Why? Because in Y2K, the new millennium came with a new takeover of the black church. The federal government now owns the black church. FBI, faith-based initiative. Your pastor is the new snitch.
Now that's deep. Now that's what year was this?
2000.
Okay.
Which is also the same year that the federal government decided that they were going to take back all major cities from blacks and gentrify them back in the hands of whites.
Yep.
That was Y2K.
Yep.
You're seeing it now, but it was decided 20 years ago.
Right, right.
That was Y2K. They unemployed us. They drug addicted us. They mass incarcerated us. They neutralized the black church, and they took back the ghettos.